My name is Mark Polton. I am a real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. I consider myself a no frills, no thrills real estate investor. I'm not the kind of guy that will have a flashy car behind me or have a really nice studio office or anything like that. I just am building assets and trying to get my monthly rent roll a little bit higher. Currently have 11 properties. We are working on our 12th. Got one deed right here with me in the car, waiting on four more to come in. So I want to talk a little bit today about why people are poor, and it kind of goes along with the same thing, why people only make $50,000 a year. I asked this of a lot of people, and I haven't gotten the right answer yet from anybody that I've asked. I've always said, why does somebody only make $50,000 a year? And I get a wide variety of answers from education to the man holding them down. And they said no, because they don't know how to make $100,000 a year. If you know how to make $100,000 a year, why would you make 50 grand a year? It doesn't make sense, right? So, you know, we can take that further and go, well, why am I not making $1 million a year? Well, because I don't know how to make $1 million a year. I think I do, um, but and I'm learning everything that I need to do. That's the goal, is to make $1 million a year. But I don't know quite how to do that yet, and that's why I am not making $1 million a year. So as long as somebody is doing it, and there's definitely people in the real estate business that are making $1 million a year, then it can be done. I just don't know how to do it. So this is actually very insightful. I got this from Bob Proctor, one of his lectures or one of his programs. I don't remember. And it's always stuck with me. It's a very, very important piece of information. If somebody else is doing it, it can be done. You just don't know how to do it. So what does that mean? Well, that means you need to go find out how to do it. Somebody can do it. Somebody knows how to do it. You just need to figure out and do what they do. Well, it kind of transitions a little bit into one of my favorite books, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. This is probably the quintessential book by which all self-help books, expand upon. It's very old, written back in when Henry Ford was alive. But the basic premise of the book, and if you haven't read the book, go read the book. Personally, I don't like to read. I listen to the audiobook about once a year. Fantastic book. Basically, he says it doesn't matter what you do, right? What you do doesn't determine your success. He says, and you can see this in, I don't know, coffee shops. Now, let me rephrase that. You can see this in speedy oil changes, right? You have one, you have two of them about half a mile apart. We actually have this in our area. One of them is always changing ownership. There's never, today they're speedy oil, tomorrow they're quick lube. Few years from now there'll be something else. Always under new management. Nobody's ever there. And then you have another one of half a mile down the road. Always packed, always busy, always doing work. Never, turning work away. They have so much work. They do the same thing. They both change oil. But and so Think and Grow Rich is trying to tell you it doesn't matter what you do, it's how you do it. Let me say that again. Doesn't matter what you do, it's how you do it. We can see this in all walks of corporate life. There's middle managers that are great and succeed, and there's middle managers that suck and don't. There's computer guys. I'm a computer guy that succeeds. I've had quite a bit of success in computers. And then you have the guys in tech support who, they don't succeed. We're doing the same thing. We're doing computer work. We're just doing it in different ways. And so every time I want to do something and I don't know how to do it, I always got to figure out what are the successful people doing. And if you go and do what they do, then you should be successful. We also see this in illegal activities, right? So, say drug dealing. If you're dealing drugs out in the open in front of my rentals, well, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you go to jail. But there's tons of drug dealers out there in suburban neighborhoods that probably do the same amount of volume, maybe even more. But you never know. The neighbors have no idea that they're drug dealers. They have no idea of illegal activities. They're doing the same activity. They're just doing it in different ways. Well, to sum up, I guess my thoughts on this is one, the reason your life isn't better, the reason you don't have more success is because you don't know how to have that success. If you knew what it was, if you had the information and you were able to apply it, you would be successful. On the same note, if somebody else is successful in whatever you're trying to endeavor, then it is possible and you just need to do what they do. Well, I'll expand on this on a later video. There's a one more key to it, and that's processing that information and being able to use it in the real world. But these are my thoughts. Go out and be successful. Have a great day.